I'm delighted to be with you again. Sometimes it feels like fatigue just creeps up on us. But today, together, we'll figure out how to get back our lightness and energy. Have you ever woken up in the morning feeling like you haven't slept at all? As if instead of resting, you spent the whole night unloading train cars? If you're over 70 and nodding your head right now, know that you're not alone. But let me reassure you, it's not about the number on your ID, as many tend to think. Often, our body, like a wise but slightly finicky instrument, simply signals that something isn't to its liking. Imagine your internal batteries don't have time to recharge overnight. Why? Perhaps it's that evening sausage sandwich sitting like a stone in your stomach until morning, or your favorite TV show flickering with the blue light of the screen like a pesky firefly, not letting your brain fall asleep. Or maybe it's that cup of strong tea before bed, which perks you up like a morning rooster, but at completely the wrong time. I promise you that by understanding these hidden reasons and making a few simple changes, you'll feel how morning becomes good again, energy returns, and your mood improves. And for this, you don't need titanic efforts or expensive medications. It's all much simpler than it seems. So, stay with me, and let's figure out together how to bring back vitality and the joy of each new day. Insidious dehydration, enemy number one of morning energy. Our first tip is as simple as a glass of water. Literally. Replace the habit of starting your morning immediately with tea or coffee with a glass of clean, warm water. Many of us reach for that aromatic cup first thing, right? And yet, overnight, our body, like a dried-out sponge, loses moisture. Remember Eleanor, she's 72 years old. She always believed that a morning without strong coffee wasn't a real morning. Water? Why, she'd say. It's just water, no taste, no awakening effect. Every morning, she'd wake up with a heavy head, feeling a kind of sluggishness throughout her body, as if moving through thick jelly. She blamed it on her age, the weather, anything. When her daughter gently suggested trying to start the day with a glass of warm water 20 to 30 minutes before breakfast and coffee, Eleanor dismissed it. That's all nonsense, children's fairy tales. But her daughter was persistent, and Eleanor, not wanting to offend her, decided to play along for a week. For the first couple of days, she didn't feel any difference, except that she had to get up a bit earlier to have her water before her ritual coffee. But by the end of the week, she was surprised to notice that the fog in her head in the mornings started to clear faster. She stopped feeling that unpleasant dry mouth that used to be her constant companion. Physiologically, it's simple. Water kickstarts metabolic processes, helps flush out toxins accumulated overnight, lubricates our joints, and prepares the digestive system for work. It's like watering a wilting flower. It revives, its leaves unfurl. Psychologically, by starting her morning with self-care, with such a simple yet important ritual, Eleanor felt better, more attuned to her body. After a month, she couldn't imagine her mornings without a glass of water. It's like washing yourself from the inside out, she laughed. Coffee now seems so secondary. So, my dears, give it a try. Your body will thank you with a surge of energy and mental clarity. This is the simplest step to a vibrant morning. Blue screen light, the thief of your sleep and energy. Our next enemy of morning grogginess is the bright light from screens before bed. Replace evening TV, tablet, or phone viewing at least an hour to an hour and a half before sleep with reading a paper book, listening to calm music, or having a quiet conversation. I understand how tempting it is to watch the news, a favorite show, or scroll through social media before bed. It seems to help relax. Arthur, 75, was convinced that without the evening news and a couple of detective show episodes, he simply wouldn't fall asleep. It's my way of distracting myself from the day's worries, he'd say. But at the same time, he complained that he couldn't fall asleep for a long time, tossed and turned, and in the morning felt as if he hadn't slept at all. His wife, Mary, noticed that he often woke up in the middle of the night. Arthur would wave it away. Old age, my dear, what can you do? When I suggested he try giving up gadgets before bed, he looked at me like I was an eccentric. What would I do then? It'll be boring, he exclaimed. His internal discomfort was understandable. Habit, ritual, fear of being alone with his thoughts. But Mary persuaded him to try an experiment. Instead of TV, a good old book he'd long wanted to reread. The first few evenings were unusual for Arthur. His hand kept reaching for the remote, but gradually he got into reading. And what happened? After a week, he was surprised to find he was falling asleep much faster. And most importantly, his sleep became deeper, without anxious awakenings. Physiologically, this is because the blue light from screens suppresses the production of melatonin, our main sleep hormone. The brain receives a signal: daytime, don't sleep, even though it's long been night outside. Imagine trying to lull a child to sleep with loud music and bright lights. It's unlikely to work, but a book, especially a paper one, with the rustle of its pages, acts like a gentle lullaby. Psychologically, giving up the evening's information noise allowed Arthur to calm his mind and tune in to rest. I'd forgotten what a pleasure it is to just read, he admitted. And in the morning, I feel rested for the first time in years. Try giving your brain some silence before sleep too. You'll be surprised how much sweeter and sounder your rest will become. The sugar roller coaster, a cause of morning weakness. And now let's talk about what we eat, especially for dinner or as an evening snack. Replace sweet and starchy empty calories in the evening with a light protein dinner or an unsweetened fruit, a cookie with tea, a candy, a piece of cake. Sounds tempting, right? But these little joys can play a nasty trick on us. Margaret, 78, loved her evening tea with pastries. It's my little reward for the day, she'd say, smiling. But every morning, she woke up feeling heavy and apathetic, and it took her a long time to get going. She often complained about lacking energy, even though she seemed to eat enough. When it was suggested she replace her beloved pastries with, say, cottage cheese with berries or an apple, she scoffed, "That's not tasty. I want pleasure, not a diet." She could be understood, a habit for sweet tastes, an emotional attachment to certain foods. But her daughter Jane gently insisted, offering various healthy but tasty snack options. At first, Margaret resisted, but then she agreed to try. Instead of a pastry, she started eating a small portion of Greek yogurt with nuts or a baked apple with cinnamon. And what do you think? After a couple of weeks, she noticed the morning heaviness was gone. She started waking up more easily, with a clearer head. The physiology here is this: simple carbohydrates, sugar, white flour, cause a sharp spike in blood sugar, followed by an equally sharp drop. It's like a roller coaster for your body. First, a burst of energy, and then a crash, lethargy. If this happens in the evening, blood sugar levels can drop too low during the night, leading to restless sleep and morning fatigue. But protein-rich food, or complex carbohydrates, like a caring gardener, slowly and steadily nourish your body, ensuring stable energy levels. Psychologically, Margaret realized that pleasure could come not only from unhealthy food, but also from feeling light and energetic. "I never thought it was so connected," she admitted. "Now I feel much better, and pastries no longer seem so necessary." Try replacing those evening sugar bombs with something healthier. Your energy will thank you. Lack of morning light and movement, rust for the body. Another not-so-obvious reason for morning sluggishness is a lack of natural light and movement right after waking up. Replace the habit of lingering in a dark bedroom with a ritual. Right after waking up, open the curtains and do a light 5 to 10 minute exercise routine by the window. Many of us, after waking, lie in bed for a long time, delaying getting up, especially if it's cloudy outside. David, 70, admitted that his mornings started slowly and reluctantly. "I'm like an old, unoiled machine," he complained. "By the time I get going, by the time my joints stop creaking, half the day is gone." He loved to sleep in and then lie there looking at the ceiling. His wife, Emily, had long tried to get him out for a morning walk, but he always found 1,000 excuses. When I told him about the importance of morning light and minimal activity, he chuckled skeptically. "What exercise? I can barely crawl out of bed." His resistance was linked to a feeling of his own stiffness, a fear that it would only make things worse. But I suggested he start small. Just go to the window, open the curtains, and stand there for a few minutes, breathing deeply. Then a few simple movements, stretches, bends, wrist and ankle rotations. David agreed, more out of politeness. But after just a few days, he felt a difference. Morning light, hitting the retina, signals the brain, "Good morning, time to wake up." This helps set our internal biological clocks, our circadian rhythm. and a light warm-up is like oiling those rusty hinges. Blood starts circulating more actively, delivering oxygen to muscles and the brain. Psychologically, such a morning ritual creates a positive mood for the whole day. David admitted, "I never thought such a small thing could change how I feel so much. Now I get up, open the window, do my 5-minute energy boost, and I feel human. Even my joints bother me less." He even started going for short walks with Emily before breakfast. Greet the new day with open curtains and light movement. It will awaken your body and spirit better than any coffee. Heavy dinner, a nighttime marathon for your stomach. Let's talk about the last meal of the day. Replace a heavy, fatty, or large dinner shortly before bed with a lighter option, and try to have dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before going to sleep. Many are used to dinner being the main meal of the day, a time to relax and eat heartily. But this can become a serious obstacle to a full night's rest. Imagine Susan, 73 years old. She always loved to cook, and her dinners were true feasts: fried meat, potatoes, salads with mayonnaise. And all this around 8 to 9 p.m., and by 10 p.m., she was trying to go to bed. "At night, I often suffer from heartburn, heaviness in my stomach," she complained. "I sleep fitfully, and in the morning, no freshness at all." She blamed her sensitive stomach for everything and took antacids for heartburn. When advised to make her dinner lighter and earlier, she was indignant. "How so? When am I supposed to eat properly then? I'm on my feet all day. In the evening, I want to relax and have a tasty meal." Her internal discomfort stemmed from a long-standing habit and the belief that a hearty dinner was key to feeling good. But her children persuaded her to try changing her routine. She started preparing steamed fish or chicken breast with a vegetable salad dressed with olive oil for dinner, and tried to finish her meal no later than 7 p.m. At first, it seemed to her that she was going to bed hungry, but literally within a week, Susan noticed colossal changes. The heartburn disappeared, the heaviness in her stomach vanished, and most importantly, she started sleeping, deeply and peacefully, all night long. Physiologically, when we eat a lot before bed, our body, instead of resting and recovering, is forced to spend a huge amount of energy digesting food. It's like making it run a marathon when it should be sleeping. The digestive system is actively working, body temperature rises, which interferes with falling asleep and deep sleep. Psychologically, Susan got rid of constant discomfort and the fear of nighttime suffering. "I feel so light," she rejoiced. "It turns out you can eat deliciously and sleep wonderfully. I've even lost a little weight without noticing." Let your body rest at night, not work overtime. A light, early dinner is the key to sound sleep and a vibrant morning. Hidden magnesium deficiency, a silent saboteur of your energy. And the last, but no less important point, is a possible deficiency of certain micronutrients, particularly magnesium. Replace erratic eating habits, which may lack important nutrients, with a balanced diet rich in magnesium. Or, after consulting your doctor, consider taking quality supplements. We often don't think about whether our body has enough of all its building blocks. James, 76, suffered from nighttime leg cramps, restless sleep, and a general unexplained fatigue that didn't go away even after weekends. "It's probably just old age creeping up. Muscles aren't what they used to be," he sighed. He ate seemingly normal food, but didn't pay much attention to variety. When his doctor, suspecting something was amiss, advised him to get tested and pay attention to magnesium-rich foods, James reacted without much enthusiasm. "What vitamins? I've eaten like this my whole life, and it's been fine." His doubts were understandable. Many consider talk about micronutrients to be secondary. However, the tests indeed showed a magnesium deficiency. The doctor recommended he include more green leafy vegetables, spinach, kale, nuts, especially almonds and cashews, seeds, pumpkin, chia, whole grains, and legumes in his diet. James, though he grumbled at first about all this greenery, decided to follow the advice. He started adding spinach to his morning omelet, snacking on a handful of almonds, and more often choosing buckwheat or quinoa as a side dish. A month later, he came to the doctor's appointment a completely different person. The nighttime cramps had virtually stopped, his sleep became calmer, and most importantly, that exhausting daytime fatigue was gone. "I feel as if a heavy backpack I'd been carrying for years has been taken off me," he marveled. Physiologically, magnesium is a real superhero for our body. It's involved in over 300 biochemical reactions, including energy production, muscle and nervous system function, heart rhythm regulation, and sleep quality. Its deficiency can manifest precisely as fatigue, muscle spasms, irritability, and sleep problems. It's like trying to start a car with a dead battery. Psychologically, James not only gained physical vitality, but also faith in his ability to influence his well-being. Listen to your body and make sure it gets all the necessary nutrients. Sometimes the key to vitality lies on your plate. So, you see, my dears, how much depends on seemingly insignificant habits. It's not age that robs us of our strength, but often small, daily saboteurs that we can easily neutralize. You have lived a long, full life, accumulated priceless experience and wisdom. And you, more than anyone, deserve for every day to be filled with energy, joy, and well-being. Don't be afraid to try new things, to make small changes to your routine. Your body is your truest friend, and it will respond gratefully to care. Start with one tip, the easiest one for you, and you'll see how lightness returns. Remember, you are strong, you are wise, and you are capable of changing your life for the better at any age. Believe in yourself, and you will succeed.